Did you know that in 2019, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that 15.5% of all high school students in America had obesity? Obesity is a common and recurring problem for people in America, and it is important that we stop and reduce this problem of obesity for people at an earlier age. That is why I believe that school districts should require that all high school students participate in sports in order to graduate and to promote better health. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're not in high school anymore, you're in college, so why should any of this matter to you? Well, I know all of you have somebody that you care for, whether it be your children, your younger siblings, your nephews, and even your future children. And what if they were the ones at risk of developing obesity? Or what if they do develop obesity? How would you feel? And what could you do for them? My interest in improving the quality of life for future generations, as well as this generation, has led me to further research the topic of obesity, as well as solutions to obesity. And so today I will be telling you all about the problems of obesity in society, a solution that can be taken to reduce obesity, as well as why this solution is valid. And I will be telling you about the misconceptions about this solution and why these misconceptions are invalid. First, the problem of obesity in society today. In California alone, 15.9% of students in high school had obesity. Respectively, that's around 276,000 out of 1.74 million students with obesity. That's a lot of students. And on top of that, obesity can increase the risk of more dangerous health problems further down the line. Some of the many health consequences caused by obesity, according to the CDC, include type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, body pain, stroke, and even death. That means that there are 276,000 high school students in California alone, possibly at the risk of these health consequences. So it is important that an effort is taken in reducing obesity, and this can be done by requiring that all students participate in sports. So why sports? Why not anything else? Well, according to a study conducted by the CDC, out of all the factors that contributed to teen obesity, physical inactivity, more specifically, not being on a sports team, had the greatest impact on teen health and obesity. 16.5% of all students who did not participate in a sport were more likely to develop obesity. So, by requiring all students to participate in sports, you are directly attacking the biggest factor that can lead to obesity in teens. How exactly does being on a sports team reduce obesity? Well, according to Harvard.edu, one of the most prestigious colleges in the world, physical activity increases the total amount of energy that your body expends. This energy that your body expends is in the form of burning calories, and when these calories are burnt, weight is lost. Essentially, through the exercises that you get from sports, the calories burned up will help you lose weight and keep you healthy. Some might say that requiring mandatory sports is a bad idea because it will take their attention away from the academics and negatively affect their academic performance. However, according to John J. Rady, a psychiatrist at Harvard University, the MRI scans of people who began to improve their fitness levels showed a volume increase in the hippocampus, the frontal lobe, and the temporal lobe. These are all different parts of the brain that are associated with learning, reasoning, thinking, memory, and problem solving. Additionally, according to genesisglobalschool.edu, an international school, sports not only reduce stress, but also lead to improved creativity and better concentration power. So not only does participating in a sport reduce obesity and maintain your health, it also improves your academic ability. It improves your ability to learn, reason, think, concentrate, and solve problems. Furthermore, others might say that 2 years of physical education, also known as PE classes, are already required. So requiring that all students participate in sports is unnecessary. It is true that 2 years of PE are already required. However, PE alone is not enough to reduce obesity. According to the National Institute of Health, it is recommended that teens engage in at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity. But according to their research, 27 to 46% of students in their PE classes did moderate to vigorous physical activity. The average class length is 45 minutes, so that means that students only spent around 12 and a half minutes to 21 minutes doing moderate to vigorous physical activity. That is 3 times less the recommended amount by the National Institute of Health. Whereas, according to the Journal of Health Sciences, a journal about sports medicine, studies show that teens spend up to 53% of their time in sports practice doing moderate to vigorous physical activity. They practice at an average of 10 to 12 hours a week. That is around 40 to 50 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity done on a sports team. So by being on a sports team, you're doing more moderate to vigorous physical activity to keep you healthy. So now I've told you all about the problems of obesity in society, a solution to reducing obesity, and why that solution is valid, as well as 2 common misconceptions about obesity and why they're invalid. But what can you do to reduce obesity in future generations and your loved ones? The first thing that you need to do is contact the California Department of Education at 916-319-0800. And you can tell them to reform the current physical education curriculum to include sports and sports teams. You can also encourage your loved ones to participate in a sports team or to just increase their physical activity alone. After all, a healthier generation is a happier generation. Thank you.